unhinged. They're now obsessed with pushing bizarre, unhinged conspiracy theories about President Trump that are absolutely insane, and none of it based in fact or reality. So tonight, well, we're talking about Hillary Clinton, who has been the leading voice of these tinfoil hat crackpots for decades. The #1 in America conspiracy theorist, Hillary Clinton. That's tonight's mini monologue. Blaming anyone and everyone else for her failures, that's nothing new for Hillary Clinton. Well, you know, she's now gotten to the point of constantly making bizarre excuses for the 2016 election loss. Now, in just seconds, we're going to play some of it. We're going to show you some of this. But let's go back to the 1990s. Her husband, Bill Clinton, embroiled in scandals and controversy. Instead of just accepting responsibility for what happened, telling the American people the truth, Hillary, nope, she blamed the vast right-wing conspiracy. You may remember this.
The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
All right, so things have not changed much since then. Now, Hillary Clinton continues to peddle conspiracy theories, no evidence whatsoever, and make ridiculous excuses about why she lost to President Trump. She's now offering up a long laundry list of reasons for her crushing defeat in November. Now, take a look at the side of your screen. Now, Hillary conveniently forgot to mention that she didn't bother to campaign a whole lot in Michigan and Wisconsin, and that a large majority of you, the American people, thought that, as I do, thought she was corrupt and untrustworthy, and those are just a few examples. Now, let me explain what's really going on here. Hillary Clinton is the ringleader in pushing bizarre conspiracy theories meant to destroy and damage President Trump. And, of course, the propaganda media, they just follow in suit like the sheep they are. Now, Clinton and the left and the Destroy Trump media, they have a shared goal now, and that is to delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency, undermine American democracy, the will of the American people. Here with reaction, Fox News contributor, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. You know, we'll keep rolling this on the side of the screen, Governor. There's nothing she doesn't blame here. I'm surprised she doesn't blame climate change for losing.
Well, she's going to get to that sooner or later, Sean, because the president just pulled out of the Paris Accords today. So we're going to hear that pretty soon. I've known the Clintons a long time. I've never known ever for Hillary to just walk to the microphone and say, you know what, the reason something didn't work is because I failed, because I didn't do it right. Even in the book Shattered, it was very obvious that even her husband tried to tell her that the polls were not accurate, that they needed to go campaign in some of these Rust Belt states, but they didn't listen. And now she's blaming Jim Comey, she's blaming the Russians, she's blaming anybody and everybody. She's blaming the DNC, which has not really made her a darling of them, and they're pretty angry about it. But she's never just said, you know, ultimately the candidate is responsible for winning or losing. And as somebody who's been in elections, the #1 thing you got to do is just suck it up and say, it's me. That's why we lost.
Governor, and sometimes it's the moment, sometimes there's different conditions, environments, but you always, at the end of the day, you got to take responsibility. You know, you're watching these attacks on the president. I think they're unprecedented. You're watching the bizarre Russia-Trump conspiracy, and every night we play Clapper and Comey and Rogers and Maxine Waters and Dianne Feinstein and Joe Manchin saying there's no evidence of collusion. Months and months and hundreds of hours of coverage. Is this distracting the president, his team, from being able to do their job? Are they trying to do that?
I think they're trying to distract them, and whether they are is something we don't really know. But I hope it isn't, because it's such a disaster for the president to be taken off what is really a bold agenda to make America great again, to use his term, to put Americans back to work, to turn factories back into making things here in this country, to give us a sense of confidence in leadership in the world. All of these are the agenda items that Donald Trump has put forth. But every time I hear a Democrat interviewed on television, they keep wanting to remind us that Hillary Clinton got the popular vote. Well, we don't elect a president because of popular vote, by the electoral vote. And if you want to change the Constitution, then use your energies doing that rather than coming up with these phony Russian stories that have so far been proven to be a whole bunch of, as my friend Larry Gatlin would say, bovine droppings.
Yeah. Governor, next time you're on, I have a question about you going to the White House. I think you should go there and help the president. I think you'd be great. My own personal thoughts, but we'll talk about it next time. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Sean.
When we come back, the House